Aloha lava and greetings. Again, my name is Okalani Mariner, and I am from the small islands of Samoa, right in the center of the Pacific. Today, before I start, I would like to tell you a little bit about myself. When I was 17, I co-founded the first environmental student body at the National University of Samoa, Lanulau'ava Student Association. I wanted to create a youth-led organization that raised the awareness about the effect and impact of climate change on small island developing states, as well as provide a platform that empowers youth to actively work against climate change and amplify their voices. What I know is this: my generation does not want to lay down and die. We will learn where we can fight, and we will fight. Our organization took up many activities to help the youth learn where we could make a difference. We brought together young girls from across the country to encourage their pursuit in STEM education so that they could one day become future leaders of our movement. We organized teenagers to literally pick up trash from off the beaches every weekend, and we participated in tree planting initiatives to support reforestation efforts within our country. We will not give up. For countless generations, Indigenous communities have played an essential role in the creation and stewardship of natural resources. As the original caretakers and custodians of the land and sea, we knew which seasons to forest and harvest. We knew when to fish for food in order to allow, we knew when to forage for food in order to allow Mother Nature time to regrow and reproduce. For years, we lived as stewards of the land, not as owners. As we know now, that dynamic has changed, but we can change it again, and in time, for the better. Sitting among us today are government leaders and people in high standing, but you are supposed to be more than that, aren't you? You are supposed to be parents, grandparents, and guardians of the next generation, my generation. You are meant to be the leaders we look up to, the ones currently responsible for building a future for us. You who say that you want to give us the world, but what world will there be left for us to protect if you do not take act now? Our dreaded future, your dreaded future, is our present. Look no further than our brothers and sisters in the islands, Tuvalu, Kiribati, the Marshall Islands, Tokelau, to see it in real time. The effects of increased global temperatures and sea level rise, record king tides and prolonged rainfalls, islands whose children are missing, carried with the next tsunami or storm, whose mothers are drowned because of flash floods, crumbling riverbanks and cascading debris, whose fathers are rebuilding houses and seawalls only to see the ocean moving closer and closer to their door, whose brothers must survive and farm to survive, but each year returning with a smaller and smaller yield, whose people are dying because the increase in cyclones, hurricanes, and natural disasters threatening families, homes, and livelihoods. And even in the face of all that, I urge you to look again to the same islands for hope and resilience. Look to my people in the Pacific who collectively contribute less than 0.03% to greenhouse gas emissions, and yet are pioneering renewable energy practices within our communities. I urge you specifically to turn to the youth who want to live and thrive in a world where we are not fighting to stay above water. We have no choice but to live in the world you have made. I am a young Pacific climate warrior, and I am not drowning in the next king tide. I am fighting. I have the fire of my ancestors in my belly and the voices of thousands of young Pacific Islanders at my shoulders. There is a proverb in Samoa: "O le tele o sulu e maua ai fingota, e maamasia venga peata amo faatasi." My strength does not come from me alone, but from many. And we will not sit back and wait for our region to be overrun by irrevocable climate catastrophe. We are organizing and building resilience within our communities, and we will continue to call out the destructive fossil fuel industry and all those who bankroll our extinction. You will not profit from our grief. And at the same time, as I stand here in front of you all, amazing leaders, I am so proud to see that despite all the odds being stacked against us, we continue to reimagine what the future looks like and what the future we deserve looks like, to share knowledge on equitable and just solutions, hold space for climate grief, and mobilize people power to create our own solutions to this crisis. There's a saying among my people, even the mighty need others. Even the mighty need others. Leaders, you need us because we see hope where you may see defeat, where you may see difficulty of phasing out fossil fuels. We see the opportunity for innovation and justice. Join us, continue to invest in us, collaborate with us. Thank you.